so bold, I'm so bold, yo, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, yo, I'm so bold, yo, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, yo, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, yo, I'm so bold.
This is called Cesar's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 success formula. So for those of you taking notes, go ahead and take notes on that, okay? So 5 philosophies, 4 scripts, 3 secret weapons, 2 laws, and 1 rule that when you follow these, they're designed to trigger immediate breakthroughs and explosive success. All right, so 5 philosophies, we're gonna start here. Number 1, philosophies I live by that have helped me to create the life of my dreams. For those of you that don't know me, I started off as a 21-year-old broke college kid. Someone exposed me to the business world. I was terrible. I got a ton of, I found a guy that was really good. I got mentoring from him. And because of that, and a total immersion commitment that I had to myself and changing my life, I went from being a 21-year-old broke college kid to making my first $1 million by 29 by learning a ton of stuff along the journey, reading hundreds of books, listening to thousands of hours of audios, mentoring from the best of the best people in multiple industries, mentoring from these people, paying for coaching programs, flying around the world to get coached by the best of the best. I did all of this type of stuff in my journey so that I could come back and help the other people who were once like me, who were 21-year-old broke college kids, were just not living the life of their dreams. And I've literally committed my entire life. It's my being. It's why I was put on this earth, is to be a teacher and to receive this type of stuff and to be able to share with other people. And so I'm going to share with you some of these philosophies, but I just want you guys to know one of the biggest things that I have done that has allowed me to be successful and to get here, and write this down for those of you taking notes, is follow the signs. Follow the signs. You are divinely guided. This isn't a talk about religion. This isn't a talk about my beliefs versus anyone else's beliefs. I respect everyone for believing whatever it is that you believe. I will tell you from personal firsthand experience, I had a situation where I essentially died and came back to this dimension, and I saw what I believe most people refer to as God. And I was speaking with this being telepathically. I don't ever, since that experience, I like the term more my creator, because what I received, as far-fetched as this may seem to some of you, what I received and the communication, this wasn't a him, this wasn't a her, this wasn't a old guy wearing a white robe. This was like the fabric of the freaking universe unraveling in front of my eyes, and me literally crying because I was so grateful that I was able to see the face of what is pretty much indescribable. But what I did know is I was surrounded by love. This thing loved me more than any kind of love I've ever experienced. It was more love than I could, I was like, how can you love me so much? I'm nothing. I'm petty. I'm insignificant. I felt like a grain of sand in the presence of the freaking ocean. I was like, all I could do was cry and just not even understand how grateful I was to have such an unconditional love that I have never felt before, not from my woman who I unbelievably love and is my soulmate, not from my beautiful little puppy who loves me unconditionally, unless, I don't feed him or something like that. Then I feel like his love is very conditional because he really chomps down a lot, right? So I just felt this unbelievable love, and it was just not a love that you can get from a human being. It's like we lack the capability to love what this being loves, to the degree that this being loves. And so that's what I felt. And because of that, and even before that, I have just always had the belief that I am divinely guided. And when I had that experience, it was 100% yes. Whatever world you want to live, whatever you want to attract, whatever lifestyle, however much money, whatever it is that you want, it is there just waiting to be handed to you. Your creator wants you to have it. This is part of your experience. You are just basically this being that can attract from the universe by speaking it into existence, whatever it is that you want. And I'll talk more about the law of attraction. I'll talk more about this, in another step. But I just want you to know that if you put it into the universe, know that it's on the way. What you have to do though, and this is the key, you have to follow the signs, because it's not just going to be, oh God, oh universe, please make me a millionaire. And then an opportunity shows up like the first one did in my life, where I was a 21-year-old broke college kid and a guy prospected me at a mall and showed me an opportunity to work with a company that sold legal services. I was working at a GNC at a health food store. I was into fitness and, health and all that kind of stuff. Or so I thought. I was, wow, what I didn't know now compared to what I actually know. I was all about, the stuff that the GNC and the muscle magazines share with you. Whereas now I'm like, vegan, holistic, like almost no chemicals in my body, right? If I don't have to. But, that was the path that I was on. I was really into health, fitness, and nutrition. And I was going to get a job potentially for like a Coliseum working as an event coordinator, because I went to school for sport management. But I just wanted to be successful. I put that out into the universe, and then an opportunity comes to sell legal services. It costs money. There's an investment. It wasn't in my comfort zone. I almost didn't sign up for this. I almost didn't say yes. And if I hadn't, because I was like, well, this looks good, but I'd really like it to, is there like one of these that are in like, maybe like health and nutrition, since I already have some experience, because it's in my comfort zone to talk about it. Most of you guys are negotiating with your creator and you're pissing on the freaking signs that are placed in front of you. You get these signs that just remind you to stay on track and to keep your eyes open. So I want to just encourage you to follow the signs. Nothing happens to you. Everything happens for you. You just have to be awake enough to notice and start picking up on these things, because it's like your creator's dropping clues. It's like your angels are dropping clues. They're like, pay attention. Something's about to happen. Little heads up. Or follow this path, or you're on the right path. So I'm just telling you this because this is one of my biggest philosophies and secrets to my success. And that is philosophy number one. Who here likes philosophy number one and can relate to philosophy number one? Who here has had some experiences? Same thing. When I found Emily, there were 2 songs that were playing. We went out on our first little pizza date, and there were 2 songs that were playing in the background of this pizza store that we were walking around at in Miami, right? My other half, my soulmate, the woman that we came down, split souls, found each other through time and space, and bam, we found each other in this lifetime, and we just freaking knew it. And the sign that this was the right one to me was there were 2 songs that I literally just programmed in my Spotify back to back. Those songs literally just played back to back in a row in the background as I'm eating pizza with her. And I'm like, okay, I see you. I'm on track. All right. Need to pay attention here. And sure enough, she ended up being the one, right? And so that's what I want to leave you guys with. Number one, if all I did is awaken you to being more cognizant of the signs, this training, honestly, was worth it. If that's all that happened, I'm hearing some amens, fantastic stuff. Out of body experiences are real. Totally get it. See 11, 333 all the time. Pay attention. That's what that means. Okay. Number 2, philosophy. You get paid on your level of urgency. Urgency first, skill second. Success likes speed. The number one reason why people say yes to your business, to your product, to your opportunity, you know what it is? What do you think the number one reason why people say yes is? Type it in the chats if you think you know. This is the number one thing that I have noticed. Timing. It's timing. People that say yes, whenever I sign them up for a business, for any type of thing that I've ever sold in my life, especially network marketing, you know what they say? The timing of this is just perfect. This is perfect. It's the timing. And then you know what the number one reason why people tell me no is? The timing. It's just bad timing, man. I just bought a truck. I just used up the last of my money. I just got back from a vacation and I'm broke. Oh my God, I just signed up for this other business. I just spent the last of my money. I just joined this other thing and now I don't have any time. Timing. The reason I share that with you is because as good as I am, and I really haven't met very many people that are better recruiters than me when it comes to just purebred communication, persuasion, influence. There's very few people that are better than me in this industry. There are people that have out-recruited me with lots of social media, noise and tactics and stuff like that. But straight up closing percentages, I would put myself up against anyone that you wanted to bring to the table. I'll put it to you like that. Right? The last company that I was in had close to 500,000 people, and I was the number one recruiter in the whole company inside of like a year and a half, right? Part-time. So I say this with a ton of experience. No matter how good I am, if the timing is just terrible for someone, they're not going to get in. And I've recruited and brought on board so many people just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time. Signed up a superstar just in the nick of time. This guy was just about to join another business. This guy was just about to join a franchise. This woman right here, she was just about to do insert whatever, but just got it. She's like, oh man, you just got me. Whew. So the reason I share that to you is that should be motivating to you. Because if that's the case, then you don't have to be a superstar. You don't have to be the freaking greatest closer in the world. But if you're fast and you're operating with a sense of urgency, and you just talk to enough people, again, we want you to have skill. I'm a major skills trainer. I'm going to talk about skills here. But if we get you competent and confident and you just talk to a lot of people really fast, you're going to avoid missing out on all of those people. Those 100 people and the potential pool, like let's say there was 30, let's say there were 30 of 100 that if you hit them in the perfect timing, they would say yes. But what happens is people take a long time. And then what ends up happening is that number of 30, there might have been, 20 available prospects out of that 30 that would have said yes. But because it took you 6 months to catch them out of that list of 100 people you had, their timing got worse. And they go, oh man, I wish you'd caught me then. Oh man, I wish you caught me then. You just hear that over and over again. Not right now. I'm just doing this. But if you hurried up and you hit them really fast, if the timing wasn't good at that point, then maybe it would be better later and you'd catch them and it'd at least be on the radar, right? Like there was one girl, she said, hey, man, dude, you caught me right before I'm going on this trip, literally to California right now. Let's talk about this as soon as we get back. And it was just like, I just couldn't catch, she was just like, I'm packing. I have a little bit of time, but then I have to hop on my flight. And it was like, I had such a small window. By the time I caught her, it was like so late at night. She's like, look, I got to go to sleep to catch my flight. So she goes to California. She's like, let's talk about when I come back. And then guess what she says when she comes back? Oh man, I wish I'd seen this before I left. I spent all my money out in California. And now it's going to be a couple of weeks before I get started. But if I'd hit her up a week ago, that wouldn't have been the case. She could have seen it. She could have spent her money and then spent what was left over in California. See, it's just time. You just miss these people. So operate with a sense of urgency and you're going to be able to have huge results that could potentially change your life. Right? Number 3 philosophy was number 2. Was that strong? Do you appreciate that? Number 2. Yes, you guys like this. Number 2. All right. Number 3. If you're not where you want to be in your life or your business, you're either not doing something right or you're not doing something enough. It's really what it just comes down to. Which is it for you? Here's my question. Are you not doing something right or are you not doing something enough? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Most of you, and most of the time, if you're not doing the enough, it's not actually because you lack motivation. A lot of people go, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing the activity, I just lack motivation. It's not usually the case. What you lack, in my opinion, is you just don't have the right skills. You're just not doing it right. Because here's what happens. If you lack motivation, it's not because you're not a motivated person. A lot of times it's just because what you've been doing isn't working and you're getting beat up so much that it's just honestly freaking discouraging. Right? It's just discouraging to you because you're like, man, every time I talk to people, I'm getting beat up. Who here feels like that? Who here's ever felt like that in the chats? Let me know. Yeah, it's like, man, I just, every time I do it, and then you get beat up and then you lose your energy, right? Simone knows what I'm talking about. John, yep, I can see you guys all. All right, so that's what ends up happening. And so that's why I disagree and have such a hard stance against what so many other trainers do, because they just say like things like TTMP, oh, just go talk to more people. Just go talk to more people, man. You just got to do more activity. And it's like, yo, they're trying to motivate you, but a motivated idiot is still an idiot, right? You want to be sharp. You want to be strong. That's why I give scripts and the stuff that I do. Here's the thing. it just discourages people when they don't actually have additional skill sets, which is why personally, when I coach people, I don't just work on their mindset, although I'm a great mindset trainer. I think you all would agree. But what I really believe in doing is I believe in arming people with new formulas, strategies, scripts, and methods that they've never heard before so that they can tell that it works when they hear it. And then they get excited to try it out. And then once they try it out, they start to get results. And then once they start to get good results, they get motivated to do even more activity. And guess what? Problem solved. For some of you, if you're lacking motivation, you're just lacking some skills, some scripts, and new strategies, something fresh. And that's usually the kicker, right? But you actually need some freaking tactics and some lines. So for some of you guys, there's mindset training, keep doing that. But you got to get your skills training, man. You got to, because that's what changed it for me. So become obsessed with upping your skills, your activity, and your accountability. Write that down. Skills. You want to up your skills. You want to up your activity, and you want to up your accountability. Because a lot of times they up their activity, but because there's no accountability and they don't have anyone that they're checking in with, or they don't have any goal that they're running, they're not working with it. They don't have a good coach or a mentor, someone that's like just staying on top of them. They fall off. I literally just got, for the past week, I've been working with someone. I don't know if she's on here. I don't know if she was able to make it. This is a new student I'm coaching. She's, big influencer, 170,000 plus followers, on one channel, huge, just she's a legend, right? Total badass. The amount of times that she's messaged me, and she's from Philly, so the way that she talks is just, I love it. I'm from New Jersey originally. And she's just like, yo, thanks so much for staying on my ass, man. If you weren't staying on my ass, like she said it like 5 times. She's like, please keep staying on my ass. I need it, right? And she's like, and she's thanking me every time, because sometimes you just need someone to stay on your ass. Say, let's get it done. You want results, get a personal trainer. You want results in your business, get a coach. Get someone that's going to stay on your ass, right? Be a part of a community that has accountability, right? Find ways to give yourself some accountability if such an opportunity doesn't present itself. But I will tell you, for those of you who've been in my Recruit 10 and 10 challenge, I'm looking at the faces. I know a lot of you guys already have. You guys know just by being a part of a group where your goal is to complete 10 videos in 10 days, that gives you accountability. When you have the ability to ask me questions while you're in this group and to say, hey, here's what I did. I've got this objection. What should I do next, Cesar? Like, what do you say to that? And you have a whole community of people say, oh, say this. Watch Cesar's video session 102. It talks about it in there. That's one of my favorite sessions. Like having that group in that community, in that mastermind effect creates a ton of accountability, which is one of the reasons why people freaking blow up. So much that go through this and that join programs like that. Are you feeling it? How's this training so far? All right. So we're still in the philosophies. You guys loving it? All right, Angela, I appreciate that. Next one. Posture is everything. Posture is everything. Write that down. Posture is the position of strength or weakness that you come across in every encounter. Your goal is to constantly increase your posture and to come from a position of strength and not weakness, right? You want to make sure that you never come across as weak or needy. You want to have a posture of non-neediness. You want everyone you talk to know and feel beyond a shadow of a doubt that regardless of what they say, when you expose them to your product or opportunity, you are fully committed. You are going with or without them, and you don't care whether they say yes or no, because to you, the main reason why you're reaching out to them is because if roles were reversed and they saw an opportunity like the one that you're sharing with them, and they saw that first and didn't tell you about it, you would question whether or not you were even friends. Can I get a mic drop for that? Are you guys feeling me? Do you understand what I'm saying? That is posture. Most of you guys are out there begging your prospects to buy from you. You're chasing them. You're asking them for favors. I see these scripts that these other leaders share. Hey, I was wondering if you could give me some help. Would you give me your opinion? You got these people dropping these lines. Oh, give me your help. I'd love, would you help me out and be one of my customers? Would you try it out? Do you realize how weak that shit is? That puts you into beg mode. That makes you, your worst fear and what everyone hates is a desperate salesperson. And I see the people that are trained in this, and they're the biggest trainers in the world of network marketing. I mean, honestly, it just makes me realize like, yo, I'm gonna eat these guys lunch. They better hope I slow down, because if this is the shit that they're training, this beggy, pathetic stuff, what the hell are you doing, dude? What are you doing, lady? Come on. This is pathetic. Know who you are. You've got the gift. That needs to be your posture. That's what we're about here. The B10XB movement, man. You know, I'm here to make you guys freaking 10 times bolder, more badass, and confident versions of yourselves. Like, you need to know what you have. You're going with or without them. It doesn't matter if they say yes. Yo, you're putting them on notice. Like, hey, what's going on? I just wanted to let you know about this, because look, at the end of the day, if you saw something like this and you didn't tell me about it, I'd question if we were even friends. I didn't want to go ahead and take off and do what I'm about to do with this company and this business, and then turn back and you look at me and the life that I'm living, you know, a year from now, 2 years from now, and you're like, what the hell? How did you do? What did you do? What have you been doing? Oh yeah, I got started with this business here. I did this, I did that. I don't want you to go like, why didn't you tell me about it? And my answer to be, yeah, I guess I just prejudged you. I guess I just thought that like maybe you weren't. And then the other person goes, what? Why? You don't think I'm smart? You don't think I've got eyes to recognize an opportunity? I mean, yeah, I was skeptical that one time with that other business, but this is totally different. I just didn't want to have a conversation like that with you 2 years from now. So I just want to show you this now. And if you like it, great. You know, if you want to get involved, cool. If not, I just want to get it off my conscience and just make sure that, you know, I at least put you onto this thing. So you can't ever come back to me and go like, yo, man, I thought we were friends. What happened? So that's why I wanted to give you a call. Throw some fire in the emojis if that's fire. Guys, there's nobody training this stuff like this. I'm just going to tell you straight up. Listen, guys, I have a lot of these lines. How many of you guys here have joined the Recruit 10 and 10 challenge at one point? Just put over here. I want to see. Put your hand, put it in the chat. Say, I have. Let everyone know, how was it? How was the Recruit 10? And guys, this program is $97 PS, in case you're wondering. This is going to be some high ticket, you know. I literally created a program that was so that anyone, regardless of their financial situation, could come up with $97 if they wanted to. If they really wanted success bad enough, they could find it, they could borrow it, they could come up with it. I wanted to create something that no matter where someone is in their life or their business, they could come up with that amount of money and get a level of training from me that would be worth literally tens of thousands of dollars. I wanted to just do something ridiculous. So I put that course and it's $97. If you want to stay as a member, as an ongoing group member, every week I go live in there, answer questions. And I have, we just finished session like 105 or something, right? We're in the hundreds. There's over 100 plus videos in this thing outside of the 10-day program that you go to. So first you go through the 10-day program, then we've got ongoing training in there. Those sessions are honestly, if you just listen to that freaking 2 times a week, if you just spend an hour a week, you'd knock out one video a week. That's 4 a month. Like, do the math. After 10 months, you'd be one of the best freaking recruiters in the whole damn world. I'm just going to tell you something. If you actually did that. Rolando, I know if he's still on there, he watches all of them. All right. So, that's it. I talk about posture and I drop a lot of lines like these ones that I'm sharing. They're all in there. So they're all recorded, right? I see Christy, I see Christy's been through the Recruit 10 and 10 challenge for a minute. She's loved that. If you guys have been through that program, drop in the comment. I just want to see how many of my students are on here, and let everyone know who's not a part of it. You know, if you think it was worth the $97, right? So next thing that I want to share with you, and we're still within posture. I just want to say one other thing on this. Confidence trumps competence. Whenever 2 or more people have rapport, whoever is most certain will persuade the other. It's a great little line from Tony Robbins. So your goal, if you want to be an all-star, is to be so unshakable with your confidence that no matter what someone says, it doesn't even increase your pulse rate. That's it. Here's a nice little line, little Caesarism. If they can shake you, they won't join you. They'll join a real leader instead. Ooh. I'm sorry that was nasty. I'm sorry. They'll join a real leader. So what are you going to be? A real leader or a poser? Oh, by the way, in case you guys are wondering where to get the Recruit 10 and 10 challenge, write this link down. I actually have got something that I've put together. I'm launching actually a new coaching program, a new retreat. You can learn about all of this by going to b10xb.com/adventure. This is just an opportunity for you. For those of you that like what I'm teaching and you want more of it, there are other levels that have never previously been available that have unprecedented access to me that I have recently created to be able to coach you, whether it be in a small group coaching program, whether it be one-on-one for 6 months, or whether it be coming to my house at an actual retreat where I work with you for 4 days and pour a lifetime's worth of knowledge into your head by basically cracking your skull open, teaching you neurolinguistic programming, NLP, crafting your pitch, rebranding your entire world, who you are, how you talk, helping you overcome self-limiting beliefs, and then teaching you my reverse recruiting method and the language where you literally learn how to master it. And from doing so, you can create an environment where success just becomes easy. Like I literally teach you a whole nother language. I know Christy's on here. I know she's gonna be coming. I know I've got Anthony. I think Anthony's still on here. I saw him earlier. Anthony's probably gonna be coming. So those are the retreats at my house. If you want to learn more about that, go to b10xb.com/adventure. And there's an option where you can see a video. You'll see a video and it'll tell you about the Recruit 10 and 10 challenge so you can learn more. You can click on a button right then and there to join the challenge that's coming up, the next one that we have coming up. Or you can click on the button that says coaching and retreats. And then that'll take you to another video that'll tell you a little bit more about coaching and retreats. And you can apply to either be coached by me personally, one-on-one or in a group setting, or to come to one of my retreats. And so there's just a simple application. You just fill out some numbers and it just depends on what you want to learn, your goals, what you really want the most help with, what your budget is. And for the first time ever, I can actually work with people, with smaller budgets. And for the first time I can't even remember, I'm actually going to be taking on board people and I'm going to work with them for longer than I've ever worked with them before, which is, 3 months 3 months is pretty typical, but 6 months. So I've got, a coaching program that's going to be new that I'm launching next month. So you can learn all about that. If you're interested, go to B10XB Adventure and just choose your own adventure if you want to work more with me. If this is all you want, you just want this video, you want my other YouTube videos and all of the free stuff that I have, dude, take it away, eat it up. I hope you absolutely love it. I know you will. But for those of you who want to take things to the next level, then definitely make sure that you hit up b10xb.com/adventure. You guys remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books? Who remembers that? Where are my old heads at? Okay, John. All right. He remembers. All right. Christy. Millennials are like, what's that? Just guys don't remember the Choose Your Own Adventures. It was like the original video game. It was like a book and it's like turn to page 1, right? Then you turn to page 1 and it's like, all right, you start your adventure here. Do you want to slay the dragon or not? If you want to slay the dragon, turn to page 36. And then it's like, you choose to run away from the dragon and you turn to page 57. It's like a maze in a book. But I basically created that here by going to b10xb.com/adventure. Just steal it right off my shirt. All right. Bet. All right. So next thing, philosophy number 5, always play to win. Never play to keep from losing. Oh, let me just take a sip out of this cup right here. What's it say over here? Oh, what's that? I'll drink it left-handed. What's it say on the mug? Oh my God, is that the quote that this guy just said? Are his props that on point? That he literally has a mug with this philosophy? What does that tell you? That tells you I didn't just make this philosophy up today. I see Christy laughing, right? No, this is a philosophy that I have lived by. Let me break it down to you. Think about it like this. In hockey, and I have a video on this. It's a life-changing video. The hockey analogy. You can watch it on YouTube. It's short. It's me on stage, spitting fire, sharing this analogy. But I'll give you the premise of it. Most of you guys, and the problem with you, in your life. And when I say you, I also want you to know that I am included in this because I have been where you are at. We all have. It's like a rotating game of musical chairs. We've all been there. We've all gotten stuck. Me included. I've gotten complacent. You know, I've taken the foot off the gas in my life and coasted and watched things slowly decline. And then I've put the pedal to the metal and said, enough is enough. And I've changed everything in my life. So I just want you to know we've all been there. I played defensively and said, oh, I don't want to spend my money to hire this coach or to go to this retreat or to go to this event. I've done all this stuff that I do now, guys. I just see other people, and honestly, like low key, I'm just like, I could do that better. I give people more value in what these guys are doing, you know, in one day than they're charging for a whole freaking week, you know? So that's why I have coaching programs and retreats now, because I'm looking at what I've seen what the top people have done. I've funnel hacked them. I've signed up for their programs. And that's what I've been doing for several years, coaching CEOs, corporate executives, company owners, top earners in network marketing, millionaires, six-figure earners, multiple ones, influencers, online celebrities. I know for a fact that one of the biggest things that people do is they start to play defensively when they feel like they're losing. In hockey, if you're down and you're down by 1 and you're already going to lose, there's seconds left or minutes left on the clock, you know what they do? How many of you guys know what they do? Put in the chat. You know the strategy is the coach pulls the goalie out of the net and they put another man on the ice to go on the offensive. And then they try to overwhelm the opponent. And a lot of times because they do that and they stop worrying about trying to not lose, right? The minute they pull the goalie out, they're just like, you know what? Screw this. Let's just freaking blitz them. All of a sudden, what happens is that team so often has that comeback. And the same thing is true in your life. If you're not where you want to be, money's tight. We've all seen this. Money's tight for someone. Then we show them an opportunity, a business opportunity where they could sign up and change their life. And they go, oh man, you know, I've got the money to do it, but man, things are just so tight right now. Things are so tight right now. Oh, what's the monthly fee? What's it cost to join? Ooh, well, you know, I could afford the upfront, but I don't know about that monthly, man. Things are really tight. Well, you know, there's an opportunity that you could actually work with this company and sell this as well and let other people know about it. And then you could get out of that situation, right? We share these messages and people go, oh, yeah, no. I don't really want to sell. I'm not a good salesperson. And you just want to shake that person to death. And you want to say, do you understand it doesn't matter if you're good right now? Do you understand? It doesn't matter. Well, I don't really know if I like that product a whole lot enough to sell. It's like, you don't have a couple $100 to your name a month to spend on whatever the hell you want. If that's a problem in your life, you need to spend the last dollar that you have to try to get the hell out of that situation, because that's scary and dangerous as fuck. Bars or bars? Am I spitting bars? That is the mindset that broke people have and why they stay where they're at. Instead of thinking of life as a game and this being hockey and going, I'm already losing. What difference does it make if I have $400 in my bank account or $200 in my bank account? I've paid this year. I hired a new coach. A lot of money, but he was awesome. And what I learned from him, I took away. It's taken my life and my business to the next level, right? Even I get coaches. But you know when I especially got coaches? When I was new and I was broke and I barely had the money, because that's when you need it the most. That's when the opportunity is needed the most. If you're going to be someone who is offering opportunities to other people, that's when they need it the most. Am I right? But people miss out on this. So I want to put that on your radar so that you don't also miss out on opportunities like that as well. That's the time when you need to be investing into yourself the most. That's the time when you need to be reading the most books. That's the time where you need to get the most focused. Play to win. Stop playing to keep from losing. Stop holding on tight to money. When you do that, what ends up happening is you are putting into the universe an energy of lack and fear. And what happens is you then attract more lack and fear. If you're like, I need to hold on to what I have. I need to hold on to what I have. I need to hold on to what I have. It's so precious. Oh my God, I can't lose it. I can't lose it. I can't lose it. I got to spend it very carefully. I got to be so careful. Then that's what you attract. But if you're like, money comes quickly and easily, it's like a river, baby. It just flows, baby, flow. That's all it does. It just flows. Flow, baby, flow. If that's your mindset, The more that I put it out, the more I seem to get back. I can't understand it. I can't seem to break the universe here. The more I put out, it just keeps, I'm trying to outspend everyone else in the game. I'm trying to, make myself broke by investing, but it just isn't working because now you have a different focus and you're attracting abundance. So keep that in mind in multiple areas of your life. Get on the offensive. Now's not the time to sit back and be cute. Now's the time to put out all the energy, all the aggression. Go on the offensive. Blitz. If you're not where you want to be, blitz. Go hard. Put it on the line. Try to win. This is pretty deep. It's interesting because when you let go of that poverty mentality and someone actually joins a business, what ends up happening to their life? When they go, I'm in a shitty situation. All right, screw it. I'm going to go for it. Well, a lot of times with people, when their back is against the wall, that's when they perform their best. So when they're losing, that they have the excuse to stand up and to go for it. The problem is most people don't realize they're losing in life until the ref blows the whistle. And then they realize, oh shoot, I've lost. Cruising by and a couple $100s a month, cruising by and a couple $1,000s a month. Someone gets cancer, got to take off work. Something happens. You realize, oh my God, I'm trading time for dollars. I didn't realize that. Company fires you, lays you off. Oh my God, holy crap. I had no extra money in my bank account. It happened to my aunt. I told my aunt so many times and I love her to death. And I was like, listen, you need to do this business. You need to join this network marketing thing that I'm doing. You need to join this. I'll help you out. I'll build a team under you. I'll do all kinds of stuff. Like, just say yes. Let me take care of you. She goes, oh, honey, you don't understand. When I get home from work, at my age, because I think she just turned 60, but she's been telling me this for like the past 10 years. At my age, oh man, working in New York City, I get back home from work. I am just beat. I am so exhausted. I have no time for anything. Just lie on the couch. That's all I got time for. And then she got fired from her job after like 15, 17 years of me telling her, you need to do something else. Get a side hustle. Start to build up. Oh, no. She was working with a big company, thought it would last forever. Now she's doing some grunt work that she freaking hates. And guess what? She's even more tired than before because now she doesn't have the white, cushy corporate job. And she's like, yeah, age discrimination is a thing. No one wants to hire someone when you're 60 years old. It's tough. It's like, you should have been preparing for that 17 years ago when I told you, sign up in this business that I did. Good is the enemy of great. Good is the enemy of great. All right. Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. It's a great quote from Goethe. Be bold. So you got to be bold first, and then the mighty forces will come to your aid. You got to go for it first, and then watch the angels carry you. You got to jump and then grow wings on the way down. Take action. Write that really, really big on your page. That's the 5 philosophies. How you guys liking the 5 philosophies? Liking it, loving it. I see you dancing, Christy. Awesome. All right. So let's get into these 4 scripts. I'm going to go pretty fast through the rest of this. Scripts. Let's talk about them. To all my network marketers, to all of you guys who prospect people, who are recruiting, building businesses, online, offline, here's a couple power scripts. Script number 1, life-changing script, game-changing script. When you're prospecting, you're talking to someone, slide in your conversation, find a way. I have an entire formula that teaches you how. I talk about inside the Recruit 10 and 10 challenge. It's a video too. Anthony, if he's still on there, he just got prospecting mastery. So I have an entire course where you literally get to watch me talk to people cold market in the streets, walking up to total strangers. It's a really fun course. And if he's in here, he literally got the course. And it's like $500. It's on my blog, CesarRodriguez.com. You literally watch me prospect total strangers, and then I give you a play-by-play breakdown about everything that I do, how I do it. And I talk totally about this formula and all the strategies. He got it and he was like, dude, he said after 5 minutes, it was worth it. He spent $500. He goes, after 5 minutes, it was like worth the money. So here's a couple lines that I share. And if you want to get deeper on this stuff, it's inside that course. And if you really want to learn prospecting, if not, Recruit 10 and 10 Challenge has a ton of great stuff in there and these lines, along with a ton of other lines. It was hard for me to pick, but here's a great one on prospecting. Are you the type of person that keeps your options open when it comes to other opportunities? Simple. Are you the type of person that keeps your options open when it comes to other opportunities? And then depending on what they're doing for a living, like if they're working some job that it's not like they're waiting tables or something, add this little line. Or do you plan on doing this forever? And immediately what that does is that gets people to go, ooh, well, I don't plan on doing this forever. Hold on a second, right? It's a different question when you say, hey, you keeping your options open? Someone's like got a great career, if they're doing something good, great. But if they're in some job that looks like a temporary job and it's not their passion, the minute they think, am I doing this forever? Their answer is like, oh, no, I'm definitely not doing this. So the default, the minute they think that is, I guess my options are open. So it's a little Jedi mind trick that causes people to focus on one thing and immediately get a pattern intro. Oh, no, I don't plan on doing this forever. And then the minute they say that, it's like, okay, that presumes then that they're keeping their options open. And so it allows you to then, now that you have your permission, to go into the rest of the cold market prospecting formula that I teach, or these other lines and these transition lines. Sound good? Do you guys like that line? Simple. I wanted to start off with a simple one. Next prospecting gym. These will change the game for you guys. Just using these lines, watch. Use this online, offline. Stuff is built on fundamental principles of human behavior. So you're talking to someone and they've got a job. They tell you what it is that they do. And it's a job that seems respectable, right? They seem proud of it. And you don't think that they'll probably walk away from that job to do your business. See, a lot of times we talk to people and your prospects assume that you're talking about a full-on career change, where you're really just talking to them about a part-time opportunity, potentially on the side. So a little money line for this, to pitch this as a part-time opportunity, your business, if you're network marketing, is to say in your conversation, especially if they answer the first one, yeah, I keep my options open, right? This is a great secondary line, or this can stand alone depending on how the conversation flows. You just ask, well, if you saw a way where you could make some pretty serious money on the side and it didn't interfere with what you're already doing, would that be something you'd be interested in? Do you see that? If you saw a way where you could make some pretty serious money on the side and it didn't interfere with what you're already doing, would that be something you'd be interested in? Now, can they say, oh man, I'm too busy, I got a lot going on? No, because you just said, no, on the side, if it didn't interfere with what you're already doing. That's all you say. Say, oh, I'm sorry, hey, you may not have heard me. And what I had said was, if it didn't interfere with what you're already doing. Oh, I'm busy, I got 7 jobs, 17 kids. Okay, no, but if it didn't interfere with what you're already doing, right? And then they just have to go, well, oh yeah, I guess if it doesn't interfere. And when someone can't get over that little line, yeah, would I be open to making more money if it doesn't interfere? Okay, cool. And then I said on the side, so I'm talking about not leaving your job. And then there's a way that you can prospect people more on a full-time for a career change. You can tweak the language on that. Talk about that more in my other programs. I won't waste any more time on that here. But is that a money line? These are things, guys, that I've said, literally for years that have been game-changing for me. These are my lines, and these are the lines that when my students start to memorize and they start firing off smoothly, they see all this crazy success, and they're like, holy smokes, man. Like, damn, these lines are killing it, for me right now. Right? Everyone's telling me yes. Everyone's open. Everyone wants to hear more. Next line. This has to do with posture. We talked about posture. Write this down. I can't promise you anything. One of the best lines that you can use, because what it does is it tells them that they may or may not qualify, adds a little posture in there, and it lets them know that you're not the big decision maker. And then it allows you to kind of step back and just be like, hey, look, I can't promise you anything. And then all of a sudden people go, oh, no, of course. And then so instead of you looking like you're selling them, you look like more of you're hooking them up, and you're like having more of an energy of like, I'm going to put in a good word for you. I can't promise you anything, but if you're keeping your options open, what I can do, is I can maybe put in a good word with one of the higher ups. I've actually got some info that I can go ahead and make sure that you take a look at first. Obviously, we want you to take a look at some info first, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay. So when you say that, it changes and shifts the energy and makes sure that you're not coming across as a salesperson. Next line, closing, script number 4. Are these scripts fire? Are these scripts fire? Do you wish you had your whole team watching this? How many people here wish they had their whole organization watching this right now? Just taking notes, right? Christy's hand went way up. She goes, oh my God. All right, we'll see about maybe getting a replay of this thing. We'll see. All right, closing. Great line for closing. When someone's done seeing a presentation, I like to ask these questions. Now, I was only supposed to give you one script here, but I'm going to give you 3. I'm going to give you 3 little lines. It's like my closing script. First question I like to ask, what did you like best about what you saw? What did you like best? Second question, did you see an opportunity for yourself? Third question is there anything else you need to know before you get started? Rolando could have finished my sentence for me. I see you, brother. He's like, oh man, I know that. Is there anything else you need to know before you got started? What that does is that tells people, number one, you're getting something positive. You always want to get something positive from people, right? What do you like best? You want to hear What are their hot buttons? What did they take away from that presentation? Because what you think they might find most interesting, they might not. And then you end up selling benefits to the one thing that they didn't really care about, right? So just because you've got a flagship product that you're excited about doesn't mean that they might not like something else that was like a secondary mentioned product. And they go, well, I really like that though. That's a cool feature of it. Or I really like the business side. Oh, I like how much fun people are having. You start to learn about their personality, right? Second question, did you see an opportunity for yourself? That's great for recruiting, right? If you're not going to talk to them about recruiting, another great question that I like to ask, I'll give you another bonus script over here, is I'll just say, instead of saying, did you see an opportunity for yourself? I would say, did you see an opportunity for yourself as more of a customer or as a customer and an affiliate or a distributor or whatever you call representatives or market partner, whatever you call yourselves? What did you see? Were you thinking just customer or, customer and also working with the company? And that again tells you some more information. They go, oh, shoot, actually, no, I'm seeing myself more as a customer. So now you know to stop talking about the business side. I say, oh, I see something for myself in the business. Yeah, I want to sell this. Now you can start focusing on benefits there, right? Christy says, that's good. I appreciate that. With objections, I'm going to give you a simple one. When someone gives you an objection, you can always use this simple formula. It's FFF, feel, felt, and found. And what it is I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same exact way. And this is what I found. Or, but this is what I found. So that's your template. So feel, felt, and found. There's just little mental cues to make sure that you're following this little template. Someone says, oh, I don't have the money. Look, man, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way when I first took a look at this. And I almost didn't get involved. But what I found out was if I kept doing what I was doing, I was going to keep getting what I was getting. And I was sick and tired of living a life where I couldn't comfortably spend a couple $100s to get involved with something like this that had the potential to absolutely change my life and my future. And I didn't like that situation that I was in. And so I realized that for things to change, I have to change. And so because of that, the same reason why I almost didn't get started, not having the money, is the very reason why I chose to step up and to get started so that I could have a chance to do something different to change that life. Was that another mic drop moment? That's just me freestyling, right? But feel, felt, found. I love Mike's reaction over here. Mike's just like, damn, that was good. I can see you smiling over there, brother. Look, this is what I do, guys. My goal is to help you guys get this good. That's why I want to take people under my wing now that I've never taken before, not just corporate executives, not just CEOs. That's why I've opened up this coaching program, and I'm starting these 2 new coaching programs starting just next month, actually. And that's why for the first time ever, you can apply for one of my coaching programs, and it asks you, how much money do you have available to be able to invest? Because before it's just like, oh, do you have, $20, $30, $40, $50,000? Okay. If you don't, then there's not even a conversation to be had here, because those are my minimum rates depending on what kind of time, we're even talking about here. Are we talking 3 months? Okay. Are we talking 6 months? Different deal, right? Okay. You own a network marketing company. You want to have me on retainer? Okay. These are big ticket things that I do, but I'm so passionate right now to be able to help people in ways that I've never been able to help before, that I'm literally opening up and creating an entirely 2 new programs to really work with people intimately, check in with them every 2 weeks, do coaching calls, give them assignments, missions, help them, revamp their branding, website, whatever it is that they need, completely create for them custom pitches, keep them accountable, whatever it is that they need, whatever I feel like needs to happen to get the job done, to change them into the superstar, top earner, 6-figure earner, multimillionaire, whatever their goals are. I'm making myself available to be able to do that. And that was the link that I shared with you guys earlier, b10xb.com/adventure. Let's get to the 3 secret weapons. The 3 secret weapons. How is that though for scripts? How is that for philosophies and scripts? How valuable has this training been? If you paid, would it have been worth it? Would you have been like, yeah, man, dude, Christy's saying yes. I see some other people over here saying yes. Mike, Rolando saying yes. Yeah. This is the type of stuff that I do for free for my peoples. All right. 3 secret weapons. Secret weapon number 1. Things that my students have used to change their lives and their businesses. Things that I've used to change my life and businesses. Here's where they meet. Here's where they intersect. Here's a commonality. The first secret weapon, many of you guys know this, the reverse recruiting method. I created a methodology that absolutely revamped how people communicate in network marketing. Very few people know about it and do it. People who've been through my Recruit 10 and 10 challenge understand it. And when they hear this reverse recruiting method and the principles, because I don't mention the name of the method that I'm teaching people, I'm just teaching it. Then in the last video, it's actually bonus video 12, you actually learn that you've been learning bits and pieces from the reverse recruiting method. And the people that learn it, it's game on. The people that end up coming to my house to do the retreats that I do, and which I do have one more that's coming up, for them, it's not game on, it's game over. It's game over. And here's the founding principle of this. The reverse recruiting method. Here's the overarching theme of this. You can learn a lot just from this definition right here and this philosophy. The fastest and easiest and most rejection-free way to build a big team fast is to position yourself in such a way so that your prospects feel like they have to sell themselves to you as if you were the interviewer for their dream job or business. That is the kind of posture that you want to have. That's the highest level of posture that one can achieve. That is the pinnacle. When someone says, Christy, I see an opportunity for myself. I want to get started in this, but if I do, would you take me on board? Like, would it be, I'd be like, so good. I promise I'll be coachable. No, I'm going to be your best student ever. Please mentor me. Oh my God, I can't believe I get you for free. Oh my God. Like, this is amazing. Please take me. You want people selling themselves to you. The problem in network marketing is every other person, and look, I don't fault him because look, I went for years before I discovered this and had this epiphany. But once I got this epiphany and once I learned it, I spent the next decade plus practicing every single line and changing my entire language so that no matter who I meet, they're talking to me like I'm the interviewer for their dream job. I'm asking them questions and fumbling them up and they're like, I'm sorry. And these are cold market people that I just meet in the streets. I can do that with. Within a couple of seconds or in a couple minutes, I can immediately take control of the conversation no matter what a badass they are. And I can have them selling themselves to me, therefore putting in their minds that I am the alpha, no matter how big they are, no matter how successful they are. Within a couple minutes, I can, in many cases, persuade almost anyone at an unconscious level to sell themselves to me and to want to be involved with whatever business it is that I'm pitching. Now, not everyone is open, but the people that are open, the minute they start talking to me, they're recognizing very quickly that they're talking to someone. And I was doing this stuff when I did not look like I even had the credibility. I was doing this stuff wearing shorts and t-shirts, talking to guys with suits and ties that had corporate positions. Then a couple minutes, I know how to break their patterns and have them look into me like, man, yeah, wow, you're obviously way more successful than me. Not letting them know anything about my money, my house, my nothing. Just in communication, right? It's unconscious ninja stuff. But that's the reverse recruiting method. If you really want to learn it, those are the retreats at my house. Coaching, if it's something you really want to learn, there's an opportunity to learn it there. The Recruit 10 and 10 challenge for $97. Yo, anyone can get in the game on that. And you can do a lot of damage when you see something, you learn some stuff and you're like, yo, game on. Big things happen when someone goes game on. And huge life-changing things happen when people go game over. This is done. The game is a wrap. I'm winning this. Easy. Branding. My second secret weapon is branding. Now, this has been a secret weapon of mine for years. If you have any question of that, go ahead and look at my old YouTube videos, right? Look at my old YouTube videos way back in the day where I'm filming on green screens. I had whatever best camera that you could get at the time for retail people based on my investment. I was using green screen technology, like some of my videos, like how to be a headhunter. I look at some of these old videos and you can see how old they are. And there were just not people in network marketing that are doing green screen videos that were sharp and polished. And I was dressing up in suits because that was a part of my brand at that time, right? I wanted to be sharp. I've always wanted to be on that next level, which is why, guys, look at my set here. I'm literally recording this. Whose Zoom's coming this crisp? right? Shooting this thing on like a 4K camera with a studio, like surrounded by thousands of dollars of video equipment. That's a part of my brand, right? Does that mean you have to have a brand like me? Absolutely no. Does that mean you have to copy my style? No, there are people that smoke me with their followings and their engagement and stuff. They have a different brand that's just quick and dirty, and they just put out content every day, and it doesn't even look super clean. Their hair isn't done all nice, not streaming from sets, but a part of their brand, is just quick and dirty, right? So you just have to understand what you are and what you resonate with. See, I genuinely feel like I'm from the future. I feel like I'm from the future, and I've come back from the past to share all my secrets. And for me, my eyes, I like to always make sure that I'm future-proofing, my content. And I like to look at it for myself just because I'm like, I like that my stuff looks cleaner than everyone else's. That's how I am. I like to be ahead of the pack, right? If everyone's doing this, I don't like to run next to people. I like to be ahead, right? That's just me. I like to be in that next level. Everything that I do, I'm all about that next level. These are little attributes of my personality that I've discovered and realized my entire life. So you know what I did? I leaned into them, and they've become a part of my brand, right? You just have to know yourself and how you are. And when you can capitalize on that, that's when really things start to click for you. So I love it when people see my stuff and they go, yo, dude, he's on some next level stuff. One of my strengths, I've done a strengths assessment. It's literally called futuristic, right? I look into the future farther than other people do by default. And then I make moves. I skate to where the puck is going, like Wayne Gretzky says, right? Now, the reason why I mentioned branding is because we're all unique beings, and it's important to know what your strengths and gifts are. And a lot of you are doing online social media prospecting and recruiting, and you're saying all the right things, but the problem is when people look at you and your page, it reeks of amateur and it demonstrates low value. So sometimes that's not an easy overnight fix. See, with offline prospecting, you can fix that right away with your language. Online, you got a whole mess of pages and previous pictures and professions and things that could be in your bio that could just be a hot mess and could be messing you up. So here's a couple tips. Get a better picture, tweak your bio, and eliminate shit that makes you look low value. I love that I have Rolando over here. He was one of my students. He was going out there and he's talking to tons of people. He's doing all his social media prospecting and recruiting, and his results based on his ratios, he's like, hey man, I've messaged 100 people. Here's what my results have been. And I'm like, this is really off, man. And I was like, you're using my scripts? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm using your scripts. I'm like, and you're saying this, you're saying this. And I'm like, wow, what you're telling me sounds good. Screenshots you're showing me don't sound terrible. Tweak this, tweak this, tweak that. But if you did 100 of those, even they should have gotten some more response. And then I said, let me check out your profile. I haven't looked at your profile. I go to his profile, and his previous jobs are like dishwasher, like bottle washer work that are it's all these minimum wage jobs. I'm looking at the other stuff on his page, and I'm like, bro, you're like a professional freaking salsa dancer. Why is your page not filled with more stuff of that? And you looking, good in some of your salsa outfits with your freaking trophies and your, hot dance partner. Why the hell is that not on your page, man? Why are you putting that your last job, you're washing dishes, at some low value place? I'm like, people are looking at that in your branding, and then they're judging you because they're sizing you up. And they're going, whatever this person says, I'm not working for some dude that was just washing dishes, last month. Who's this guy? See, branding can be tweaked very easily in some cases. In some cases, depending on what your goals are, you might need a full rebrand, and you might need, see a lot of things, let me just say this about branding. It's why one of the levers that I pull when I go to help people to get really big results. I'm like, all right, boom, let's crank it. This has been one of my secrets. If someone wants to go do business with me, go to my website. If you guys haven't seen my website, CesarLRodriguez.com. CesarLRodriguez.com. Spell my name right? Cesar, the letter L, and then Rodriguez, right, with a Z.com. You can even click on the branding and web design tab that I have on my site. if you want to learn more about branding and what that means, right? I don't want to go into a whole big thing. I've got tons of definitions on it and, content on it. And I share how I do that for people that want to revamp their websites or their brand. But the thing is, a brand is not, and this is, excerpted partially from, my website, and you can see the full thing on there. But, I share with people, your brand is not just a website or some color scheme. It's deeper than that. It's things like who you are, what you represent, what you're known for, what you stand for, how you present yourself. You see, the hardest part about sales, guys, isn't actually selling. It's finding your unique voice and style. It's the hardest part. It's what people spend the most time doing, whether they realize it or not. It's why people struggle for so long, and then they meet me, and after, I've gotten to know them, I'm hearing the stuff that they're saying, what they've been taught. I'm like, yo, dude, this is whack. You're failing because you're coming across as weak. That's not your personality. You're a strong person, Christy. You're a strong person, right? You're a beast. You're fit, right? Like you're a get it done type of person, but like your brand and the lines that you're saying are making you sound not congruent with how you are, which is why you don't feel in vibrational alignment with what you're even saying. And people are feeling that and picking up on it. And then guess what? They're not joining you. You don't realize what's going on, but a lot of times it's little things like that. You have to know yourself, know your voice. I even have a test, by the way. Not everyone gets to take. If you apply for coaching or the retreats, it's a test that I give, to some people if I feel like, I might end up working with them, right? I have this test. This test is not like your everyday regular personality test. Christy's actually taken it. She knows, right? Is that test next level or what that I gave you? Is that thing is like people cry when I read them the results of this assessment. It's taken over $2 million to create, 20 plus years, like what's gone into this thing. And it's not something you just find on the internet, like willy-nilly. You have to have someone certified to actually be able to even read your results if you want to get a decent reading. It reveals subconscious habits of mind that you have that once you fix those things and once you are aware of them and you start to address them, everything in your life starts to change. But the reason that I say that is because it's very important to write this down. Know thyself. Know thyself. I can't take credit for that one. You guys have maybe also heard know thy enemy. Well, guess who the enemy is in your life? Most of the time, it's that man or woman in the mirror. You're your biggest enemy. That's right. Christy's pointing to herself. Know yourself, which is why I give people not just that test, but all kinds of other different types of tests when I'm considering working with them. Now, here's the thing. I personally struggled to find my voice many points in my career because, you change too within life. See, before I had a website and brand, I just want you guys to know something. I had a brand. We all have a brand. You have a brand. When I was younger, in my early 20s, I was fiery, fast talking, fearless, bold, and hardcore. I was all about no excuses. That was the mantra. Some will, some won't. So what next? That was my philosophy. I used to sign people's books. Like we'd have, you could sign autographs in one of the companies that I was in because they had like these books of all the top earners. Who would come over to me. They'd be like, "Can you sign my book, Cesar?" And everyone would be like, say the classic stuff. Hey, stay in the game, blah, blah, blah. Talk to more people. I signed mine SWSWSWN. And I would tell them, I'd say, some will, some won't. So what next? Tell me yes, tell me no, tell me quick because I got to go. That was my brand. That was my life. That was my mantra. I had no time for games. I was all business. My brand to my prospects was focused, sharp, and professional. Right? I was focused. If I talked to you, it's like, yo, you knew that you were talking to someone that was focused. I was sharp because I was doing lots of personal development, and I was professional. Now, I wasn't like serious, but I was crisp with my game. You know what I mean? I showed up early, had my shoes shined, right? If I was talking to you, if you looked at my videos, they were professional, right? Are my videos today professional? This is a professional set. That was my brand. But later, as I grew, I became more financially successful. I started to become more balanced, and my brand evolved, and it grew to include fun, playful, loving, but always bold. Always bold. That never left the scene. But I became less hardcore and became more loving. I turned into a big love bug along the way. Found love, softened me up even more. Like love softens the clay, like the sun. And so I've become a lot more loving. Now when people describe me, when I was up in Italy, the guy who booked me, his name is Giorgio Tribaldo. The dude's freaking awesome. Love this dude so much. He's like my brother from another mother. He said, man, the number one thing that you say the most up on stage is, he goes, love. He goes, you just say love so much. You're just so much. And I was like, dang, I didn't even know that. I was asked the question, what's your number one philosophy? What are you about? And it was such a tough question, I could barely answer. And I was like, man, dude, he's like, what are like the 5 things that like you're about? And I was like, whew, I feel like I'm on like freaking Barbara Walters or something over here. It's like these interview questions. And I was like, I don't know. And Emily chimed in. She's like, I can do this. Number 1, love. So I have there's a book called The Greatest Salesman in the World. I recommend everyone get it. There is a chapter in there, scroll mark 2. It's a chapter on love. And you literally read this thing 3 times a day and it'll help you out. I actually have it on audio. I listen to it myself. I will be dropping it on my podcast. I have it inside of a little private group. And the thing that I do with my coaching students is I'm like, listen to this thing 3 times a day, right? And it just is like affirmation. It's like, I will greet this day with love in my heart. For that is the greatest secret to success in all ventures. Muscle will split a shield and even destroy life. But only the unseen power of love can soften the hearts of men, likened to the sun's rays which soften the coldest clay. Right? How do you do that, Cesar? I listen to that thing 3 times a day, right? I could go on for probably the next minute if I get in the zone and just freestyle with it. Yeah, wait till I'm going to drop these scrolls on my podcast, guys. The quality of this thing, I'm scared to do it a little bit because I think, ladies, if you listen to me 3 times a day, you're going to fall in love with me because my voice sounds crisp and clean on that audio. Woo! The mic I filmed it on and everything. Oh my God. Emily listens to this thing and she's like, oh God, your voice is so sexy. When I'm trying. All right. So let's talk about the next iteration, right? You always want to make sure that you know who you are, guys. That's the point of branding, right? So next $1 million tip, coaching and masterminds. That's the 3rd secret. I've talked about that already a little bit just in mentioning other things that I have, like my upcoming coaching program, the one at b10xb.com/adventure, if you are interested in any of that. So I've talked about the power of that already, but I just want you to understand, that access to the right information and someone who's going to stay on top of your ass and having a community to reinforce you and having people to monitor your growth and to check in with you, it makes all the difference in the world, not just in business, literally in fitness. If someone wants to compete on a bodybuilding stage and they don't have a coach, they are getting smoked. Am I right, Christy? It's impossible. You have to have someone that's like, what did you eat? What are your macros? Here's what you're going to eat week 3. Here's what you're going to eat week 2. This is peak week. You're going to drink this amount of water. You're going to then flush it out. You're going to take these 5 supplements. Right? This is the diuretic. This is going to get the water out. I want you to be doing 30 minutes of cardio in the morning, 30 minutes of cardio in the afternoon. I want you to do an hour at night, right? They're going to kick your ass and put you through challenging things unlike anything you've probably ever experienced. But if you were just free willing it and you were like, oh, okay, I'll probably do this. And you're going to be going into an arena where people literally have like mad scientists who are doing things to trick their body to release more water so that their skin is tighter on their abs and you could see every little vein. And whereas you're like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Or you watched a YouTube video on it and you tried to learn versus having someone say, hey, here's how you do. I'm going to walk you through the process. Hey, how much do you weigh right now? Oh, that's too much. You know what? We had you, doing low carb too much. I want you to cycle in one, big heavy load carb day. We're going to do some carb cycling. Yeah, you're losing weight way too fast. We don't want you to lose muscle. Here's what we're going to do. To have that in the fitness game changes the world for you. You can't even compete. You get slaughtered. It's not even close if you don't know what you're doing. It's the same thing in business. You can freestyle it. But how are you going to do against a person who's not? How are you going to look next to that person on the stage of life? You're going to get smoked every time. So coaching and masterminds, it's one of the biggest secrets that I've always done. I literally just finished working with another coach that was amazing, taught me some badass stuff. And listen, guys, getting coaching at my level is not easy. It's not easy. It's easy to do when you're new. Like anyone could tell you a thing or two. For me, it's like, bro, you got to be sharper than me. Good luck. Let me see what you got. And if you impress me, then it's like, all right, yo, here's my money. Damn, if you can impress me, whatever you want, here it is. Because I want to get on your level. It's literally been my biggest secret. One of my biggest secrets. Let's talk about the 2 laws. How do you guys like the 3 secret weapons? Have you been getting value from this? Has this been worth your time? All right. So let's get into the 2 laws. Law number 1, the law of sacrifice. The law of sacrifice. You have to give up to go up. There are no drive-through breakthroughs. Whatever it is that you plant as a seed of sacrifice, I want you to understand that a harvest of that same exact thing is coming. If you sow seeds of corn, you're going to get a harvest of corn. If you sow seeds of time, you're going to get a harvest of time. If you sow seeds of money, you're going to get a harvest of money. But most people, they want to sow the seed of time and then get a bunch of money. And unfortunately, that's not how farming or the universe works. You have to do both. Can you say, I'm going to get a whole bunch of seeds for corn. I'm going to have it. I'm going to have the inventory. I'm going to pay the money, but I'm not actually going to put the time out to put it out there on the field, right? How's that going to look for you? What's your harvest going to look like? Not good. What if you got the field and you're like, look, I'm going to till the soil a ton until the heck, oh man, look at this dirt, boy. This soil is looking, whoa, I got the best soil in the game. But you don't ever buy the seeds to plant. What's your harvest going to look like? You have a great looking dirt field, right? Probably more like a weed field, right? Right? You have a great field of weeds. That's what happens in people's life and their business. So take these principles of law of sacrifice and apply them to everything. What do you want? And then you have to decide, what are you willing to give up? What do you want and what are you willing to give up? I've got an entire other video on that. It's actually Napoleon Hill, everyone that joins the Recruit 10 and 10 challenge. Inside of the pre-training video, one of the things that I do is I go over and I give you this book on setting your goals. And one of the things that comes from is the book Think and Grow Rich. And one of the things that Napoleon Hill says is you have to always make sure that you know what you're willing to give up. You have to say what you want and then what you're willing to give up for it. Time, money, energy, no doing this, no more Netflix, whatever. I gave up time and TV, said I'm not going to watch TV. And guess what? Now I have a home movie theater. That was my harvest. Said I'm going to give up a bunch of time, not going to hang out with my friends a lot. I sowed the seed of sacrifice of time with my friends. And guess what? Now I can hang out with my friends whenever the hell I want. Problem is they can't hang out with me because they don't have the money and they don't have the time to get away from their jobs to be able to do what I do. Hey man, let's go to Italy. Let's go to Egypt. Oh man, I don't get the time. I don't get the money. Oh bro, come on. This is harvest season. What are you doing? I told you about this. I told you to till the soil and get the seeds, 15 years ago. Now we're harvesting over here. Oh, you didn't do it. That's right. You can't go. You still got your job. It sucks. Should have listened, right? So listen to yourself. Sow some seeds. The second law, the law of attraction. Oh, I couldn't do a training without saying the law of attraction because it is true. It is a fact. It does not take away from your belief in whatever religion you have. You just replace the word universe with God. All of the same. God is the universe is God. You'll find out what I'm talking about one day. You will see. You're like, wow, the universe is alive and it is all a part of us and we're all a part of it. And we are all one. And if I keep going, you guys will call me the biggest hippie in the world. And actually, I'm totally okay with that. I said one time, people ask me like, how would you describe yourself? And I would say, I'm probably a hippie nerd jock businessman. I'm a hippie nerd because the way I nerd out on stuff like this and formulas, right? I'm definitely a jock, but I'm also a businessman. Hippie nerd jock businessman. Should that be my new brand, guys? Cesar Rodriguez, the hippie nerd jock businessman. Right? That fairly encompasses me. All right? Because I'm all about love. I want to help you get your business right. And I definitely nerd out on a lot of things. And I definitely have got the jock in me. You don't want to go up against me in any kind of sporting activity. You will get woken up All right. So let's talk about this law of sacrifice, right? Give up to go up, figure out what seeds that you want to plant them, sacrifice. Trust me, a harvest is coming, especially if you're doing other stuff that I'm sharing, right? Next one, law of attraction. The law of attraction, here's the thing. We can call in to our life and our experience whatever it is that we want. Your thoughts are frequencies. This has been proven. They literally go out into the universe. Nothing is created or destroyed. Every thought you've ever put out, it is up there circulating around. It's why a lot of times people have pulled down from the universal ethos similar ideas and literally invented things at the same exact time, right? People, all of a sudden, there's been reports of this, like, a whole bunch of people file a patent, for the same thing, or a whole bunch of people come up with the same type of idea. There are things out there that we put out that I just want you to understand that when you're putting them out, if you want to attract more into your life, this is a very simple idea, concept. I would say affirmations. Make yourself some serious affirmations. I've got an entire program that's free. It's a video and an ebook. You can look it up on, how to craft affirmations. You go to my YouTube channel and you can see it. And it was the affirmations that I used to attract love, success, and money. All right. So you can check this thing out. It's like the power of affirmations. But say affirmations, multiple times a day, what it is that you want, and speak in terms like you already have it, and be thankful that you already have it. Like, act like you have it and then be thankful that you do. Just celebrate. Like, I'm already a millionaire. Oh yeah, the money's here. The money's here. Done. Celebrate. You can put it out into the universe. And when you put that out into the universe, what ends up happening is all of a sudden, when you start being thankful and grateful for it, it starts to show up. The universe goes, man, this guy's celebrating like he's got $1 million. Guess what? We need to give him $1 million, right? That's how it works. But you just got to be thankful for it. So start being grateful for whatever it is that you want right now. Start writing affirmations. And I've got an entire training on that. So law of attraction. I'm going to keep it simple on that, right? But just know that thoughts are things, and you don't get what you want. You get what you attract, right? If you're focused on fear, lack, you're going to get more fear and lack. If you're focused on abundance, you're going to get more abundance. If you focus on love, you're going to get a lot more love. You start sowing the seeds of love, you're implementing the law of sacrifice, and you're also implementing the law of attraction, right? So you're going to get a whole bunch of that right back at you. All right. Other thing that I want to say with the law of sacrifice, little tip, just write this down. Total immersion principle. You want to totally immerse yourself in whatever it is that you are doing. This is why retreats at my house work so much better for so many people than them just hopping on a weekly training that I do once a week with the Recruit 10 and 10 Challenge. Total immersion. It's why when someone spends 4 days at my house, I can teach them more than I could teach them in maybe months coaching them one-on-one. Right? Total immersion principle. So whatever it is that you want to do or you want to get successful at, totally immerse yourself. Something new you want to learn? Go all in. What else do you have to do? It's your business. Go all in. Just immerse yourself. Just say, I'm going to be on the trainings. I'm going to be plugging into everything. I'm going to be reading the books. Just do it. Just make the sacrifice. It's freaking worth it. I'm telling you, I'm on the other side. It's worth it. I don't care about the stupid memories that I didn't get hanging out at the club. When I get to hang out at the house with the woman that I love and my brand new puppy, I don't care. All that stuff was worth it to have the time freedom. See this crazy stuff going on in the world. Mandates here. You got to do this or we're going to cut you off. And I'm looking at this stuff and it's like looking in a snowball. I see what's happening, and as much as it could affect me, like if I take the snowball, snow globe and crack it on my head, I can also just stand on the outside and just watch it. And, I don't I'm definitely on the side of looking at things and making my own decisions and not just going with whatever's pushed in front of my face. I understand, way too much about the media, right? I can see through, I can use my skills of persuasion to see how other people are trying to persuade me. And I can see both sides of an argument, right? But at the end of the day, it's all right, well, I've got my money. You can't force it. You're not gonna be able to mess with that. I know how to invest my money. I know how to trade my money. I've got freaking high-tech softwares moving my money around for me on autopilot, using artificial intelligence and crazy stuff like that. I'm on some seriously next level stuff. So it's like, all right, you're printing a lot of money with inflation. Well, guess what? My cryptocurrency portfolios are killing it. Sucks that they're doing this, but I'm still going to find a way to win, right? That's the level that I'm on, all right? I have made myself as bulletproof as possible, and I'm constantly working on it. And that's what you want to be doing. So immerse yourself with your craft, whatever it is you want to get good at. Trust me, it's worth it. Prepare now for the storm that could come. If it gets really crazy and I need to go join an island with a bunch of other rich, successful friends, I could probably afford the plane ticket. It's like, all right, here's the club, here's our own country. All right, let's go. And honestly, I want to get to the point where I can start my own damn country if I want to, right? Who's with me? Who's starting my own country? It's going to be on an island. It's going to look like the beach from the movie The Beach. We're going to find a little plot of land like that. We'll just live like that if things get real crazy, okay? So, but I'm preparing for that now. I tell Emily all the time. I said, look, we're getting rocket ship money. If the earth goes to, to hell and we're still alive and we need to put our kids on a rocket ship, to the next planet, I want to have rocket ship money. You guys aren't thinking far enough. Borrow from my futuristic self, right? I'm thinking next generations. I want them to go, thank God my bloodline's able to survive because Cesar, he got us off this island. Watch the movie Elysium, right? There's like two in the future. There's like one world. They're living like in the future, whatever disease they have, they just hop in a little pod and it fixes them. And then on the dusty ass earth, it's humans working with robots, and like there's all kinds of crazy problems that they're dealing with. And it's like horrible. And it's like their whole goal is to like live in that heaven where these people just constantly revamp themselves. And I don't even know if they like die unless they're like killed. It's like crazy. Like, what if that happens? What if that's hidden in plain sight? What if we're going there? What if you're old enough to where it happens? Where your kids are? Where do you want them to be? Dusty ass earth doing high risk jobs, getting freaking policed by robots? Or do you want them to live in like the closest thing to heaven that, we could see on earth perhaps, right? We're on another planet, right? Living on a space station. Think ahead, baby. Total immersion. Go all in. This is the time. Stop playing with this thing, man. Someone's counting on you. Might be your kids, might be your mom, might be your dad. Somebody's counting on you to step up right now. Might be you, the future you. You need money for an operation, All right. And the number one rule. So that was the two laws, the number one rule. You ready for it? The number one rule, be 10xB. Be 10 times bolder. That's the number one rule that will change your life. It's why I have an entire movement behind it. It's why I have an entire hat, shirt, clothing line, wristbands. This isn't some gimmick. This is something that's changed my life and the life of tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people. I know people that have been teaching B10XB to audiences that have 100,000 people in it. I know people that teach this thing to their teams. I have companies that have this as a part of their culture. Being 10 times bolder. What does it mean? How does it work? For those of you who've never heard me talk about this before, here's just what I want to tell you. You were not put on this earth to be weak, timid, or afraid. You were born to be a conqueror, someone who seizes opportunities, someone who goes for it in life. That's what you were put on this earth to be. Yet in our life, we are beaten down. We have well-meaning parents, teachers, authority figures. They tell us things like wait in line, don't speak until you're spoken to, don't talk to strangers, play it safe, be careful. How many people nowadays, they end phone calls? I just had someone end a phone call with me the other day and they just said, okay, stay safe. People just say, stay safe. And I'm like, safe? No way. No way. Safety's on my mind. Don't get me wrong, I'm not reckless. But safety, a lot of times to some people, means staying in your comfort zone. I don't want to stay in my comfort zone where everything's safe. There's no growth opportunity where it's safe. You don't get over your fears playing it safe. You get over your fears jumping out of an airplane if you're scared of heights, right? Going to the top of a building and looking down and just freaking facing your fear. Just being like, all right. And again, I'm not a therapist. I'm not giving you therapy right now. I will tell you, I've helped people who have got phobias and crazy problems with things like talking to people, selling, massive introverts, people with crazy self-limiting beliefs that I've been able to help faster than actual therapists and psychologists that they've seen, because I have read the books on psychology and neurolinguistic programming and know how to essentially hypnotize people when they're awake and lace things into their subconscious mind when they don't realize what I'm doing in sessions like that. I know how to do that. It's my area of expertise. But at the end of the day, the best way to get over fear, indecision, and doubt, out of all the techniques, all the things that I've learned, it's just a simple game. Anytime you feel the three enemies of success, fear, indecision, and doubt, just ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And whatever you come up with in that moment, do it. Just do it, whatever it is. Do it. The game is on. It's a game that you play that changes your life. Walk around through life every day in every way and ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? What would I do if I was 10 times bolder? What would I do if I was 10 times bolder after this call? What would I do if I was 10 times bolder for my business? What would I do if I was 10 times bolder in my family? What would I do if I was 10 times bolder in my finances, my relationship, my love life, my career? Whatever you come up with in that moment, the game is on and you do it. Because there is a beast that lurks inside you that knows who the real you is. It's waiting to come out. And when you ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? That voice will answer back. And it will say something like, Christy, if you were 10 times bolder, what you do is this. Anthony, you do this. Julianne, here's what you do. Katie Drake, here's what you do. You go to see someone, they look like they'd be a good prospect, but you get scared and you're like, oh man, I don't know. They're probably going to say no. Some person you want to talk to about your business, like, last time I talked to that person about a thing, they said no, but like, man, they're really good. What would you do if you were 10 times bolder? What? Your brain will go, you'd go walk up to that person, but I don't know what to say. You'd figure it out. Just walk over there. I'll give you the answer right before you say, hey. It's how your brain works. It's how that other you is trying to challenge you. There's a war for your freaking body. There's a war for your body inside your mind. There's the you that is the 10 times bolder version of you. That's fun. That's playful. That's got swagger. That's cool as hell that everybody loves. There's that version of you, that conqueror that you were put on this earth to be. If you got an idea, you're wondering what it looks like, take some of this swagger and playfulness and the way that I move, just take some of that and just put a little drop on yourself. This is what my life is like. This is the 10 times bolder version of me. Here's an example. The previous me was a lot more like, well, I don't know. That looks hard. That's a lot of people. Oh, I'm not a good salesperson. Oh, I'm terrible at talking to people. Oh man, dude, I get so nervous when I go to talk to people. Like, yeah, it's just like, I just get like this lump in my throat and this like knot in my belly. And I just, I'll go try. We'll see what happens. Ooh, that guy, he looks, well, no, his car is way too sharp. You can see my car right now. There's no way I'm prospecting that guy. You know what? Hold on. You know what? Maybe if I'll wait till I'm in the store. If he goes that way and I'm going in the store, then I'll talk to him because then he won't see my car. Oh man, I'm not wearing the right shirt. Damn. I wish I wasn't going to the gym, man. If I was dressed, if this happened at 3 p.m. when I was in my suit, yeah, then I'd have the confidence to talk to him. It's how I used to be. But then I started asking myself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And one time I saw this guy at a gas station. Some of you have heard this story, and he was driving an Escalade truck, and I was driving a little beat up Saturn that had a crack in the front fender that was facing him. And we were at the gas station and he was in a polo shirt on the phone. And I was on the way to the gym. So I had a cutoff shirt like this. He's wearing a ball cap like this. And I was like, oh man, I should prospect that guy. Whoa, he's got driving an Escalade. What does he do? Guy's sharp. He probably knows some people. He's probably got some good contacts. Man, people, if he was in my team, man, people would be like, whoa, people Escalade driving this business. Man, that Escalade would look nice at our next weekly meeting. People would be like, yo, people in this company are making money, right? These are all my thoughts, right? And I was like, I'm going to go prospect this guy. But then that voice started to pick up like, hey man, you're wearing a cutoff shirt. You're wearing a hat. This isn't time. It's obviously going to tell you no. But you know what I decided to do? I just asked myself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And he was on the phone coming back from the gas station, and on his way to the car that was, getting gas pumped in it. And I was like, well, if I was 10 times bolder, I'd go walk up to that guy and prospect him right now. But then that little voice of weakness, it's called the weakness, guys. Be aware of that voice called the weakness that will constantly cause you to play it safe and be in your comfort zone. And I just asked myself, oh man, if I was 10 times bolder, I'd go walk up to that guy. But guess what? I asked myself that question and that voice said, go over there, go talk to him. And then that weakness came up and said, but what are you going to say? You don't know what to say. He's on the phone. Be rude. You can't talk to someone who's on the phone. That's so rude. Don't you have any manners? Hasn't your mother taught you anything? And I heard that weakness just puking. And then it was all of a sudden like, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And I was like, you tell him to hang up the phone. And I was like, oh, what? Just tell some total stranger driving an Escalade while I'm in my shitty car with a cutoff shirt and a hat, hang up the phone. I've got something more important to talk to you about or something. Oh, how am I going to say? But you know what I did? I just went over there and I did it. And I walked over to him and I said, hey, is that an important call or can you hang it up? And he goes, hold on, let me call you back. Hangs up the phone. I ended up prospecting him. Ask him if he kept his options open, tell him a little bit about, what I did. He goes, wait a second, I think I kind of heard about your company. There's this other guy who approached me about this before. And this guy, he's like this older white guy and he comes into my store because I work at Circuit City, right? Which is like the Best Buy that didn't make it. Thank God he got out, right? Thank God that wasn't his career, right? Back in the day, the two stores, Best Buy and Circuit City, they were like Home Depot and Lowe's, except Circuit City didn't survive. Right? Best Buy took him over. But he was working there. And he goes, this guy, he talks to me about this. And he describes this guy. And I'm like, wait, what's he look like? Old white guy? Tell me about him. And then he describes him. And he goes, oh my God, and you know what? That old white guy that I always talk to, his name's Larry Gregory, my mentor. He goes, that guy. He goes, he always tells me that there's this dude that's like my age that's in this town that's really ripping it up and has got doing a lot of big things. And he's always talking about, and he go, wait a second. Is that you? And I was like, the guy you're talking about is Larry Gregory. That's my mentor. And yes, I am that guy. So literally he was prospected by my mentor and his mentor edified me. And when I prospected him, I was edifying my mentor. So literally in multiple separate times, we both prospected him in different times. And he was like, And then he goes, well, the problem is that guy keeps giving me tape cassettes to listen to. This is how long ago this is. He goes, hey, listen to this tape cassette, because Larry always would pass out tape cassettes. So did I. But we had tape cassettes and CDs, CD-ROMs that would go into your CD player, right? Where you can play them on a computer. And he goes, the guy always gives me, tape cassettes, and I don't have a tape cassette player, man. He's like, I work at Best Buy. I've got all the newest cutting edge stuff. I got an awesome CD player, but no tape players. And I was like, well, listen, man, to me, going back to the very first tip that I said, it looks to me like that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign from above. And he goes, you know what? I think it is. We ended up getting together. He ended up joining. He was the easiest person I ever signed up. Came out with the money right there. Boom. Super easy. He called me about 30 minutes after he signed up as I was just pulling into my little tiny apartment. And I was getting the phone call after you get when you sign someone up. And some of you guys, if you've been building long enough, you know that sinking feeling where you're like, oh, shoot, this guy's quitting. Crap. He talked to someone. I knew it. His wife was in the background. He didn't even ask her permission. She probably screamed at him. He's dropping out. And he goes, hey, listen, how do I submit this sale that I just got? I just talked to my brother, told him about the product. I didn't have an application or anything. So I just got I just used the one that I had and got his name, his social security number and all this info. But like, how do I actually submit that? And like, I need to put it on an application. And I was like, oh my God, I've never gotten that call. You know, like 30 minutes, this guy signed someone up on like some scrap paper, just collecting his credit card number and his freaking social security and all this stuff we needed to get back in the day, you know? And guess what ended up happening? That guy ended up becoming my all-time #1 producer. He was the first guy in the company, hit the top level in the company, pushed me up to the top level in the company. We ended up becoming best friends. I was the best man at his wedding. We're still amazing friends to this day. And all of that happened because of a bolder moment. Your life, your business, everything good that you want is just one bold move away. You're just one bold move away from setting that next life into momentum. And I'm not saying it's the last bold movement that you'll have to make, but you might have to take that first bold moment to go, boom, I'm moving in this bold direction. I'm not going to take the weaker path. I'm going to take the bolder path. And you make that bold decision and you sign up for that business. Now you're in that business like many of you guys are. And what's that 10 times bolder move that you need to make next in your business? You're going to have to continuously have 10 times bolder moments in your life if you want to continue to succeed, because success is not found inside of your comfort zone. It's found in the bolder zone. Now, many of you know, and I see my boy right here, John is wearing a B10XB shirt like me, flexing it. We actually have, for those of you who really want to change your life, these B10XB bracelets, B10XB bracelets, or you can just get a rubber band. Just want to get a brown, ugly rubber band, you're welcome to do that. You can get these B10XB bracelets too. If you registered for this training, you'll actually probably get a link to a coupon that'll give you a free B10XB band on the house. All right? So if you have one of these, the way that it works is just by looking at it, it reminds you to be 10 times bolder in your everyday life and your everyday situations. Just looking at it reminds you, and it anchors you to this moment where you've received this message and you've said, yes, that's it. That's the new me. I'm going to be a 10 times bolder version of myself. I'm going to focus and I'm going to become totally immersed with transforming my business and my life by transforming into a 10 times bolder version of my already awesome self. We have a podcast, Be 10 Times Bolder, right? You can look it up. There's a couple episodes on there now, and I'm going to be adding a whole lot more down the road. So you can subscribe to that podcast. You can go to CesarRodriguez.com, which many of you guys already wrote this down. And if you click on the B10XB tab, you'll see where you can get links for the podcast. You'll see where you could get access to a Facebook group that we have. We've got a Telegram group. It's t.me/B10XB, t.me/B10XB. It's got a little rhyme right there. The letter T for Telegram, .me/B10XB. If you're on Telegram, join that group. I'm constantly putting content in there. And there's even a community where you can chat too. So it's a channel and a chat. It's pretty cool, right? So thing about it is the reason why you have this wristband isn't just so that you could look at it and look super duper cool. It's so that anytime you ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And you don't do that thing, you grab that little rubber wristband, you pull it back and you snap it on your wrist. And by doing so, what you've done is you've linked pain to the inactivity of being bold. You've linked pain to staying in your comfort zone where you've been programmed to stay, right? You've been programmed there. So your brain has made a wiring. Your brain literally has a neuroassociative link with being in your comfort zone and getting out of your comfort zone. And if your brain goes, it's more painful to go outside of my comfort zone because as humans, we are created and designed to move towards pleasure and away from pain. If we associate pain getting outside of our comfort zone because, last time I got out of my comfort zone, I got rejection. Someone told me no. Oh my God, it hurt my feelings. If that happens, then guess what ends up happening for you in your life? You go, it's painful to get out of my comfort zone. So guess what? I'm not going to get out of my comfort zone. But if you start to link pain to being in your comfort zone, this little action, your brain just links pain. The same way it links a mental pain and a physical pain, very similar. The mental pain of rejection is why you don't move. Now you have the now you have the physical pain of staying in your comfort zone. Now all of a sudden you start to do what? You go, oh man, what would I do if I was sometimes, oh man, that's a good looking prospect over there. That's an attractive lady over there and I'm single. Let me go say what's up to her. Oh man, you know what? If you've done this enough times before that moment, your brain goes, this is the moment. What would I do if I was 10 times bolder? Looking at the wristband. There's so many times too, I hear these stories of people who've gotten these. I've had people have entire teams that get these wristbands. You can get them from, our website, b10xb.com/gear or something like that. But if you If you go to the B10XB website on my blog, if you click on that link, there's actually a link there too, I believe, to be able to get a free B10XB wristband. So you can tell your team, hey, go here, get a free B10XB wristband. This is what we're all going to do. We're all going to be team B10XB, right? It's going to be one of the mantras within our culture and our team. And I have entire companies and large teams that do that, right? They have me do Zoom trainings for their whole team. They're like, yo, do this. Can you do the thing where you give out the free wristband? By the way, you just have to pay the shipping, for wherever you are in the country. And it's not much. It's like $7 if you're in the US. I forget what it is if you're outside, but I don't want to quote it because it's not too much more, but like if you're in Canada or something, but it's all calculated automatically. You want to know something? I actually lose money when you do that. P.S. I lose money because I have no upsell on the shipping. I'm giving you the wristband for free, but they charge me every time they ship because I have a fulfillment center. So every time they pack it, put it in a bag, they go ding, and they hit my credit card, to do that. So it actually costs me money to give this to you, but I'm willing to sow that into you because this is my mission. And there's a lot of people that are all about it, I know that are watching this. And that's why, my man John's even wearing the shirt. Appreciate you supporting the movement and looking dope doing it, right? We've got clothes, hats, all kinds of stuff. But the thing about it, and the reason why I bring this up, is because when you snap yourself enough times, what happens is your brain associates pain with being in your comfort zone. And what ends up happening is you end up going for it. You end up taking those risks. You end up putting yourself out there. And you know what ends up happening if you do that enough times? The right mindset, the right energy, like, yeah, I'm just practicing, man. I'm just practicing being bold. That's why I'm talking to this person. I don't care if they say yes or no. I'm just literally getting in a set on my own personal development and personal growth workout by keeping a commitment to myself to be 10 times bolder. Let me know in the chat if you're going to make a commitment to be 10 times bolder. Write B10XB in the chat. Drop a comment. Say B10XB. If you guys are all about it, and you're going to make a commitment. B10XB. That's the mantra. Honestly, the people who have made that their mantra, they have changed their lives and they've changed their businesses. So that's why the number one rule in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 success formula is B10XB. And if you're down with that, then you're part of this movement. You're a part of my family. And I look forward to sewing into you, to working with you, whether or not you go to b10xb.com/adventure and choose to go there and to decide if you want to work with me by joining the Recruit 10 and 10 Challenge, where you're going through a structured program with me and having me literally answer your questions and provide live coaching inside of that group. You can ask questions and I'll literally answer them on camera, giving you scripts. You can say, Cesar, say that again. Hey, what was that script that you used today? Hey, what's that prospecting, formula that you have? You can say, hey, I got this objection. What do you say to this? I'm getting a lot of this from my friends and family. What do you say? And instead of having to pay me $1,000 an hour, you get access to my coaching just by joining this challenge, right? Whether or not you choose to do that or click to go on that same page on b10xb.com/adventure to the coaching tab for coaching and retreats. If you choose to want to go deeper with me, investigate to see what that would be like. If you want to learn more about retreats, if you submit that application afterwards, you'll be redirected to a page that shows you the kind of testimonials of people who've come to my retreats in the past and what they've experienced. But regardless of whether or not you choose to go deeper with me in any of those facets, just know that I've got your back and I'm here and I'm down to continue to create videos and content and to sow into you to help you out with wherever you're at. All right. So I love you guys so much. I want to just have Emily come in here really quick to just have a little special somebody say goodbye to you. Are you there, baby? Oh, there she is. I see her walking. You guys are going to meet our first child over here. And this was the sign, when we found this puppy, we talk about following the signs, we actually saw when we were going to pick up this puppy that her brother's, on the way there, we saw that her brother's house number was an important number, significant number to her and her family. And when she saw that number, Emily and I were like, whoa, that's weird. We're on track. And then this breeder that basically breeds like these beautiful dogs, you have to be, on the wait list for a year and a half for. We were not on the wait list. We weren't there. We're just literally there to help Emily's mom pick up a puppy. And we were there to help pick it out. But while we were there, the first person that was supposed to pick out the litter from the boys did not show up. And we were just there. And Emily's literally wanted to have a little toy golden doodle. She wanted to have a teacup golden doodle. And I kept telling her, I was like, I don't want one that's that small, because I don't want to be so scared that I'll fall in love with it. And it'll be so small that like an owl will get it if it's like a teacup, because they're like really, really little. because, when this guy was little, he looked like a little bunny, right? What's up? His name's Blaze. And what ended up happening is while we were there, the first person didn't show up. And I was like, well, I don't want a teacup, but like something bigger, but not like minis are too big. And then we discovered that, oh my God, a toy doodle is like right in between that and a toy golden doodle. And this little guy just came into our life because he was there. And the person that was supposed to come in and to basically get him did not show up. So we pretty much like just looked at it as like, hey, this is our sign. This is why we saw that. And Emily's always wanted a little doggy. She wanted a little toy or a little mini just like this. Same exact one. And we literally just were in the right place at the right time. And guess what we did? Took action. Because we looked at it as a sign. Had no intention of having a little puppy in our life. We travel, we roam around, and we always were like, we don't have time for a dog and we travel too much. But you know what? Don't disrespect the signs, because when you do, you disrespect your creator. If you spit in the face of the signs, it is like you are spitting in the face of your creator. You want God on your side, continuing to give you signs. And just think to yourself, if you were your guardian angel and you were looking over you and your whole job was you couldn't have physical contact, but you could just do little things to give signs. How frustrating would it be if you had some oblivious, dim-witted person that just would see like a perfect sign and would just be like, that's nothing. That's a coincidence. Like, wouldn't you be frustrated? How you would be frustrated like as an angel? You'd be like, oh, come on. I can't do it there's rules I have to follow. I have to be sneaky. I can't be too overt. I can't spell it out on a foggy mirror for you, but I can like give you clues, and that's like as good as I can do. Imagine if you had some person who was just oblivious and that's what they were like, So don't be that person. Don't be that person in this life. Follow the signs and the other steps that I shared in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 success formula, and keep me posted. I love you guys, and thank you for showing up, sowing your seed of time. And if there's anything I can do along your journey to help you out, just let me know. I got your back. Team B10XB for life.
I'm so bold, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, yo, I'm so bold, I'm so bold, I'm so bold.